G'day everyone, Lucas here, and today I am taking a look at the KZ GP20 professional grade gaming wireless headset. And don't worry, if you haven't heard of this brand KZ before, you're not alone. I was contacted by a member of KZ and offered a unit for review. Clearly I agreed to that, hence this video. However, this is not a sponsored video and I've not entered into any agreements for favourable opinions or comments, so everything in this review will be my honest opinion of these headphones, so let's get started.
Cruising in my lane fast, call it high speed. I've been working hard, yeah, I've been working nightly. If you think you'll win, not likely. I be taking shots, yeah, cold-blooded, icy. Watching numbers grow is what I call sightseeing. In the front row, run it up when they hype me. The following grows, they know how to ignite me. Call me CEO, I've been running right, see. I don't want that cheap fame, no, I'm not that vain. I just wanna be greatness. I just wanna be greatness. I just wanna be greatness. I just wanna be greatness.
I've got mixed emotions when it comes to the design of these headphones. Some areas feel and look like they've been over-engineered to survive a rage session. Some areas look and feel like an afterthought and like they could be destroyed by a teething toddler. The arms that are holding onto the ear cups, they're thick aluminium and look like they could survive being dropped out of an airplane at 30,000 feet. Then we have these thin, black plastic coated wires going into the headphones that are all exposed, waiting for the world to destroy them. It would have been nicer to see these braided by some sort of material other than plastic, or at least hide them inside the body construction. The aluminium body was thick enough for a channel in between it. The overall design of the KZ GP20s reminds me heavily of the JBL Quantum 600 series. The exposed wires going to the ear cups, the RGB on the outside of the ear cups are just a couple of the things that bear resemblance, but there are a couple of obvious differences. There is adjustments in both the left and the right ear cups, however it does feel very stiff and hard to adjust. But I must say it does feel sturdy and very well constructed. The plastic used here doesn't look premium, doesn't look fantastic, doesn't feel premium, but at the same time, still I reiterate, it does feel well constructed and put together, and it serves its purpose. The microphone is on the end of a thin flexible boom, which can be moved and molded to wherever you like. I would have really liked a flip up to mute feature here, but I guess at this price point, I guess this is fair. The headband and ear cups have the usual leatherette or pleather material on them that feels nice and soft to the touch and is very comfortable when wearing them for extended periods of time. After a long gaming session, I didn't feel any pressure on the top of the headband and the headphones always felt really light on my head. These are the most comfortable headphones that I've ever worn. It's good. It's very good. This was the most surprising part of the GP20s. The audio quality and clarity is very impressive. It does lack any EQ settings, but the out-of-the-box sound is pretty damn impressive. Now you can always add your own EQ using, say some software on your PC or on a PlayStation. So it's not really a deal breaker, but it would have been nice to have a couple of EQ settings out of the box. I decided to throw on my JBL Quantum 610s because they're the ones that I use as my daily driver and do a bit of a comparison. However, I didn't really think this would be much of a fair fight considering the Quantum 610s are more than double the price of these. I connected them both simultaneously to my PC and blasted some punk rock through them and listened to them one after the other. I was very surprised when I preferred the sound that came out of the GP20s. With a few adjustments to the EQ settings on the Quantum 610s, I was able to get that same, even better performance out of those. However, out of the box, without any other actual settings, the GP20s sounded amazing. So I've got to say, for the audio quality, these things are bloody excellent. Now this is where the value for money in these headphones really kicks in. Not only are these things wireless for PC, PlayStation 4 and 5, but they also include Bluetooth and a 3.5mm headphone jack for devices like your Nintendo Switch. But sadly, the same wiring process is needed if you're using this with an Xbox. You will have to plug them in using a 3.5mm headphone jack into your controller to kind of give you that wireless experience, but that's just Microsoft and their proprietary audio transmission process thing. I don't know, whatever it is. There isn't any, not that I'm aware of anyway. There was no mention of it in the instruction manual, and I've not seen any online. There's no software for it, you just plug and play. HMI module Alpha Humana on approach to Space Station Mercury. HMI module Alpha Humana on approach to Space Station Mercury. HMI module Alpha Humana on approach to Space Station Mercury. HMI module Alpha Humana on approach to Space Station Mercury. HMI module Alpha Humana on approach to Space Station Mercury. HMI module Alpha Humana on approach to Space Station Mercury. HMI module Alpha Humana on approach to Space Station Mercury. HMI module Alpha Humana on approach to Space Station Mercury. HMI module Alpha Humana on approach to Space Station Mercury. Okay, here we are at the Achilles heel of this beast of the lower price bracket. The microphone is probably the weakest part in this thing. Physically it's fine. I really like the ability to move it around and adjust it to wherever you want it. However, the mic quality, the actual audio that it records, it's not that great. It's pretty bad actually. I tried cleaning it up and making it a little bit clearer using some EQ settings for the mic on my PC, but I really couldn't get it to be any better than it was. It's muddy, it's muffled, it's unimpressive. In saying that though, it does work, and people that I have played online with have commented saying, yeah, it's not that great, it is muffled, but they could understand what I was saying well enough. But I guess in the end, something had to be lacking in these headphones considering the price point. I just wish it wasn't the microphone. Microphones are always lacking these days. But I want to point out something as well. I don't think it's the quality of the microphone. I think it's these companies putting way too much emphasis on electronically altering microphone patterns and pickups to avoid background noise and to cut out, noise that isn't what's being spoken into it. And sometimes they set that so aggressive that it alters the voice that's actually been spoken into it and makes that sound rough. I think if we can back off on the noise cancellation, we might have better quality microphones. That's just my speculation. The biggest thing that I don't like about the microphone and these headphones in general is that there is no mic monitoring. So if you don't know what mic monitoring is, it's kind of like a pass-through thing where when you speak, your voice, a low version of your voice will then latency free be then pushed back through to the headphones so you can hear your own voice coming through the microphone. Now the reason this is good is it makes it a little bit more natural, doesn't sound like you're speaking with your ears blocked or your ears in seashells, and it stops you from shouting as well, because generally people will raise the volume of their voice if we can't hear ourselves speaking. So this is a lacking thing. It's a feature in most headphones that I really enjoy, but these ones don't have it. You cannot charge these headphones while you're using them. If you plug in a power source, they will shut down. However, on the flip side to that, the battery life is 68 hours. And I would say that that's pretty accurate. It's probably being a little bit lenient actually. It's going for a very long time. The microphone mute button is on the right hand ear cup, which is a little bit counterintuitive considering the microphone is on the left ear cup with all the other controls. And when you press it, all audio cuts out for about a second while you listen to the little woman inside the headphones say, "Microphone off."
Microphone on. Microphone off.
A beep would have sufficed. We don't really need the words read out to us. Microphone on, microphone off. And cutting out the audio while you're muting and unmuting, I don't think that's necessary either. Just a beep. Beep. Beep, beep. Double beep for muted, one beep for off, or vice versa. Would have been fine. Oh, also with the microphone, when you mute it, there's no visual indicator. So once it's muted, after you get that initial microphone muted, there's nothing there to tell you that it's muted. There's no light on the actual microphone. There's no intermittent beep to continually let you know that it's muted. Once it's muted, and that's the end of it. The drivers are 50 millimeters in size. Those are the speakers. Audio people call them drivers. I don't really know why. But anyway, they're like a regular size these days. A decent size is 50 millimeters. That's what these have got, and they sound great. Now there's RGB on the outside of the ear cups. That's great. They will diminish your battery life. It'll probably cut it in half, maybe even less than half if you run those RGB while you're playing. There is a button to turn them off. However, if you turn them off, if you turn the RGB off, but then turn your headphones off, the next time you turn your headphones back on, the RGB will be back on again. Not a good feature. It should stay off. The wireless range claim is about 10 meters, and you know what? In my testing, that's about right. It's fairly accurate through walls and through brick walls. About 10 meters, accurate. Now, I did mention that these headphones have Bluetooth, but it's not something that you can use at the same time as your wireless with the dongle. You have to flip between the two settings, so from Bluetooth to wireless. It's one or the other, but you can connect it to your phone and flick between the two. Now, if these things cost $250, like the headphones have been comparing them to, I'd have a lot of complaints to make. However, these things are less than half the price, which makes it absolutely more than reasonable. There are some shortcomings, but when you consider them with the great things these headphones have and their price point, these things are amazing. The audio quality absolutely destroyed my expectations. The clarity of the highs, mids, and lows was way beyond anything that I expected from these. These are super comfortable and very easy to use on the fly. There's no discomfort across the top of the headband after very long gaming sessions like I have had with other headphones. And the only things that I've kind of complained about in this video about these headphones, you won't even find those things on other headphones that are in this price bracket. In this price bracket, you're lucky. You're lucky if you get something that's wireless. You're probably looking at wired. I can't really comment on the longevity of these headphones. I've only been using them for about a week, but so far, so good. And the actual feel of the headphones, they feel like they're sturdy and will last a while. I like these things. I think their value is through the roof. Well, that is all I have for today, so thank you very much for sticking around to the end. And if you haven't already, please click that like button, and a sub to this channel would be invigorating. That's all for now. So until next time, I am Lucas, and I will see ya!